Let's talk about creating. What I've come to see is that at times and definitely in the conversation I have with clients, friends, most of us are so obsessed with our current reality that there's very little energetic space for a new reality. Or to put it another way, most of us are so obsessed with what's already being created that we have very little time and put very little time, energy and focus into the process of creating. And that is an incredible shift from created to creating. The created. I'll repeat an example, a great example that I heard Marianne Williamson talking about one time, where she describes if you have a bruise on your arm. I'm just thinking now, it might not have been Marianne Williamson, it doesn't matter who it was, right? Whoever it was talking about having a bruise on your arm and then just be really obsessed about the bruise and putting all of your time and attention. Of course, you want to take care of yourself, but putting all your time, energy, attention and focus into this bruise being on your arm, which maybe you caught it on a door, which is one of those things that only ever happens when you're in a bad mood, right? But what created the bruise? You could be doing that. I mean, a bruise generally appears after a day or two. So a bruise always appears after what created, what was in process to create it. And once it's there, the body's just doing its thing, it's doing its healing. There was a process of creating that created the bruise. The body's going to take care of that, do its thing. And in our current reality in our lives, of course, there's always things that we want. There's always things that we want to be different. Even when somebody tells you, oh, I'm loving life as it is, of course, me too, actually. And there's always things I would love to also be different, that I want to be different. We're here to create. We're here for the process of creating. The shift from noun, created, to verb, creating. So I've noticed that the less, there's a wasp following me here, the less that I allow myself to be distracted by what's already happened, by the bruise, metaphorical bruise on my arm, which I can't really do anything about now, that's already happened. The less distracted I allow myself to be and focus on the process of creating, of course, the magic of creating, the magic of the process of creation seems to be turbocharged, supercharged. So I think like the realists are the crazy ones. You know, what's real based on what's already been created? Okay, let's have this, but maybe 10% better. It's kind of crazy. We can let go of it. We can let go of any attention we put it on the created and really get in alignment with the process of creating. And that's something I dive into much more detail with people I spend time with and work with. The process of creating rather than what's created. Something to consider perhaps. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful early morning walk along Tsilivi beach in early November. Let's just take a look at this. I've been in the water in September and October. Not yet in November. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Say that swimming in the sea is not really something that I enjoy when the water is this cool. I prefer it in Bali where the water is much warmer. And I've noticed there's been times in my life where I've done it because I think I should, and that's who I should be. So check out that. That's actually a previous video talking about self-discovery rather than self-creation, and how joyous it is to live that way. Today I'm going to be having conversations, just two conversations in my calendar today, and just going to be creating a different future for those people than where they're already heading to. They're going to change course. And I'm going to be doing some writing. That's definitely an activity. That's a process of creating. My book doesn't exist yet in this physical world. In my mind it exists. And so I'm using the process of creating so that the physical world can catch up. Wow, maybe that's another subject for another walk and talk. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining me.